The fact, not the opinion, not the thought, not the concept or the theory thereof, but the fact that the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were creepy as all hell. I don't talking to Beckloff, and then for whatever reason it happened in my mind. I'm like, they were kind of creepy. And I know it was filmed part in the United States and part in Japan. If you did not know this, I hate to ruin your innocent childhood. So the actors you saw in America as the mighty, it's all had that high school age Saved by the Bell. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. I didn't. But the actors were Americans. But what they did is they spliced in the robot fighting with the very cheesy, cheap background. And as a young man, because that's when it came out, when I was a young man, I was over the age of 18. I'm like, can't you see through this? This isn't even as good as cartoons. Like, doesn't this scare you? You can't see the faces when they got the mask on, and the special effects, if you could call them that. I didn't like. No, something's wrong. I didn't even watch an entire episode. I just looked at it, I'm like, no. So the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are creepy. All the successive spin-offs, I don't know if are they still around? Did they still make new ones? I don't know. So this is the last podcast while Cappy's working. I will probably do more podcasts on my month off in June, because I do enjoy podcasts, and sometimes the mood strikes me. And I do know I want to interview other people and like kind of do all these podcasts I haven't had time to do because I'm just busy keeping up with the other stuff and doing content. Thankfully, Asshole Consulting, I would say, took a dive, but questions certainly abated. That's nice. I think it had something to do with the video I did last week. Like, hey, I'm going on vacation in June. I'm not going to be doing any requests. I think people just like figured I was going. No one listens to details. No one really does. No one pays attention to details, especially the instructions on Asshole Consulting. Use punctuation. But yeah, so that thankfully I only had 2 to do today. That was nice. I got to answer 2 more emails, and then I sent out quotes. So if I send you a quote before June, I will answer your question. And what that means for you people, my snickering audience, is when I do videos in June and I consult people, and you go snicker, tee hee hee. Aaron, I knew he couldn't do it. I knew he couldn't take a whole. He didn't even last 12 hours, as has been my policy. The cutoff is receiving requests, which may go into when I take time off. So I sent out a couple quotes, and there may be a couple requests I have to do, but it's looking nice. Looking like I ain't got anything to do. Gonna finish my retaining wall. Cleaned out the garage. The garage is optimized. Everything is optimized. Very optimal. You come to my house. My goodness, this is a very optimal house. Thank you. And then I will have an entire summer vacation. I'm viewing it like that. Summer vacation. I'm viewing it like summer vacation. I'm doing whatever I want. And the weather hopefully is going to start complying sooner or later. It's not ideal out, certainly not for motorcycle riding, but I'm going to go hike. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go ride my motorcycle. I'm going to go fossil hunting. I'm going to go agate hunting. I might get into power paragliding. Maybe now is the time to get into power paragliding. I'm going to play some poker. Going to do some really long trek hikes where I'm going to go from one town to the other on trails. Where I'm going to have to be picked up because to hike all the way back, I don't want to do 30 miles in a day. Going to get to be, now is the time to celebrate all this work. Decades in some regards, all this work for decades is now coming to, now I get to be the 4-year-old with the driver's license and a credit card and the right to vote and drink. Okay. That's what now this is the finish line. And as with all finish lines, there is no in life, unless there's an actual race or there's an Olympic event, there is no finish line. It's just, oh, I did this. And I've learned, I've gotten past enough of these you'll go just to let you guys know, you probably guys have been, some of you, because if you're older, there'll be these milestones. I would actually call them completions of chapters you finish in your life. We're like, man, there should be a celebration here. Like, I don't know, you got to retirement finances, you paid off your mortgage. There should be these celebrations, and society is not geared around to celebrate it. You're like, man, I celebrated a lot dumber stuff. Society celebrated for me a lot dumber stuff, like getting married. It wasn't me. Or graduating from high school. Or if you're really stupid, graduating from college. You paid for. I watched the Carlson School of Management. I searched those guys. I might make a couple response videos for fun, where they did Carlson graduation 2021 or 2022, and the speeches are just so blatheringly bland and stupid. They'll spend the $3,000 on the gown and the graduation. It's like, you're all doomed. All of you in accounting, go over there. The rest of you, doomed. Dead in Kimota. No one's ever going to get that one. Somebody will. But yeah, there's you celebrate that all stupid stuff. But then you don't celebrate like, oh yeah, now I could go do whatever the hell I want. I got to imagine some of you that have children, not that you hate them, but when they finally leave, you got to celebrate. Don't you celebrate that? They're finally gone. Bang your wife on the kitchen island you didn't have before because kitchen islands weren't a thing all of 20 years ago. Now you can plow your wife. Who are we kidding? She didn't maintain her shape, right? Neither did you. Fupa wars. That's what we should call like sex in America. Fupa wars. Because you got the guy's fupa and the girl's fupa. You got to get the fupa management. I'll write a book on fupa management. Sex with fupas. Like, are you crippled because you're fat and you can't set it down? So let's just be honest. None of you are going to be like, the kid moves out finally and you come back and you get to bang your wife once again. The house is yours. I don't think that happens, right? Because you all got fat, right? Because food in your fupa, greater sign than sex and love from spouse. Am I right? Right? You love your fupa more than you love your spouse, right? But let's just say, philosophically, theoretically, in scientific laboratory conditions, some Americans somewhere, some couple stayed in shape for one another. And I imagine in the past times this happened, the kids finally moved out and the dad and the mom went at it again, right? Or at least you could speculate in history in the past that happened. All right. That's a celebration. And now I got my celebration. Now, oh boy. Gonna go have fun. Gonna go have fun because things are pretty much on autopilot now. We're done. And yeah, so I will do some podcasts, mainly more interviews. I want to get Hotep Jesus on. Wonder if he's around. Troy Francis, Modern Life John. And Pop. I gotta get Pop on. Just to like no show prep. Hey, what's going on, Pop? We'd have a good time. Oh yeah, yeah. How's things? Oh yeah, that happened. Yeah. And that's about it. So I will be back July 1st. And then I'll make the announcement later. But I'm going to open up the what will we do without you? I'd imagine you'd have fun. It's summertime. Go. You could all do without podcasting and social media for a month, couldn't you? June's just as good. It's good old summertime, nice weather. That'd be a good time to just everyone take a vacation. The content producers and the audience, everyone just goes and enjoys their life. Shoot, what was I going to say with that? I am going to be doing some videos. Oh, and I am going to open up the finance courses. So if you're looking for materials, obviously there's my books you can get. I'll open up the teachable courses, Achieving Financial Excellence and Achieving Minimalism. Those will be open all month. You can take it as you please. I won't lie. It also gives me that dopamine hit when someone registers and it's like, you got money, which is better than you got mail. You got mail, just somebody wanting to talk to you, usually asking you for your money. But when I get the email, it says, you got money. I like that. That's good. So it's kind of cool when someone signs up for the class. Like, oh, hey, today's gas was paid for by Frank, who took my finance class. That's nice. So yeah, those will be open. Courses will be open. And I'm going to link. Terrence Pop has a course out. I'll be on more regularly with the Rule Zero guys, because Saturday morning you can't just get up and go. You gotta wake up a little bit. That's about it. So today, let me pull up. We'll get through some fan mail, but before I get to fan mail, this is the old man dating advice. This is gonna be a short podcast because I got to go play poker. Now I'm going to tell you a story. Now, I go to a place. I won't mention where because I don't want to identify the guy in his anonymity. Nice guy. Older guy. We get to talking, and he was telling me about, he asked, was that your girlfriend? I said, yeah. He said, she dresses really nice. I'm like, I suppose so. And I know what he was going for, because in just modern day America, certainly South Dakota, but it's just generally everywhere, you women dress for shit. You all dress like crap. You don't dress like girls. You dress like dudes. You're wearing your sweatpants and you got your pants up to here. I've said it a million times before. Even the girls down in Miami, you dress for shit. Girls in Wisconsin in the 1990s dressed way better than you. Girls wore skirts. They wore dresses. They looked feminine. And I'm not going to tolerate dating a dude. I like women. I like femininity. I like the female, like we're programmed to be. And I'm like, put on a dress. I also like going out, by the way. Not to super fancy places necessarily all the time, but okay, obviously let's go to the cigar lounge, or there's an arcade place. We'll go to this restaurant, we'll go to that bar, whatever. And if it's a dive bar, okay, probably not. But generally, I will put on a slight, like this is my sweater. It's not a super nice sweater, but it's better than me just wearing a sweatshirt. Know what I'm saying? Or I'll put on a button-up shirt if it ever gets warm enough here in South Dakota for that too. The girlfriend's kind of the same thing. You will put on heels. I don't have to tell her this. Usually it's like, what kind of dress do you want me to wear? It's like, wear that number. Wear those shoes. Wear that. Wear this. But the point is, if you just put that little bit of thought into it, like I'm putting on an ironed shirt. I'm going to wear my cowboy boots instead of my shit kickers. All right. You walk in and that stands out as much as someone from 35, 40 years ago wearing a suit. Remember, it wasn't common, but you'd be in a nightclub or a bar and someone came walking in a suit. Whoa, Frankie, what's going on? Job interview? Someone die? And so you'd see, you don't even see suits anymore. The baseline, the water level has gone so far down that you see all the dying creatures on the seafloor, that if you just wear a nice shirt and a girl wears a dress, people notice. He says, oh, she dressed real nice. And I'm like, one, I suppose so. And two, after second thought, yeah, you're right. Compared to the swill here, how no one dresses up at all. You're right. You don't want to be those assholes from Denver. You don't want to be from the big city. Look at us, we're dressed up, but you try and keep like just a bare notch above. I think we pulled it up. And so he's like, oh, she dresses nice. I say, yeah. It's like, I used to date a girl in town a little bit. I say, yeah. And he says, yeah, but she would never dress up. I'm like, oh. And he says, yeah. And it was really sad. He says, yeah, I like girls when they dress up. Here's this old, nice guy. I know him a little bit personally. Sweet guy, heart of gold, hardworking. Where have all the good men gone? Here he is. Tradesman, entrepreneur, great guy, and good person. But, it's like, yeah, just like it if she dressed, if she would dressed up every once in a while. I like pretty girls, which is perfectly honest because every guy does. And here's this guy in the later stages of his life, not dying tomorrow. But he's got to struggle. Really? he has to beg and plead for girls to put on a dress in his dying. It's not dying, but like say the last quarter. He's approaching the 7th inning stretch. And now there's gonna be a generation of us going out where the girls don't wear dresses anymore. I already know, yes, the girls don't want to be girls because you all want to be guys. I don't know why. You were sold that bill of goods a long time ago, but you're all adamant about becoming guys. And you hate your femininity. You won't have anything to do. You find it degraded, whatever they told you. Whatever they told you, you bought it, and no more dresses. And here's this innocent guy, worked hard his entire life, well-to-do, and I'd imagine too, retired. And he even said, and this is big for the sticks. He even offered to take her out for a steak. Well, come on, I'll take you out for a steak, which is pretty big. Like, there's not a lot of fine dining, as you can imagine. And if a guy offers to take you out to like a steak dinner, that's pretty big. That's a big to do, especially for that generation. Oh no. And one of the most, I wouldn't say the most heart-wrenching thing, but it almost jerked a tear out of the tear ducts, metal tear ducts I had installed recently. Got to act like I care about people or society. He says, well, why do you want to go? She says, well, I already ate. He says, well, what did you eat? And she says, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And here's this nice, lovable, I think is the way to describe it, a lovable, genuine guy, older guy, just wants to take you out for dinner. Aren't all you young girls complaining, you better invest in me? Aren't all of you like, it's steak dinner or nothing? Like, that's the entry level. You got to show commitment. Remove all that. That's a joke, by the way. We're going to do the coffee thing and the internet and all that. But here he was dating a gal they were dating. And he wanted to take her to the nice restaurant to get her steak. And she didn't want to go. And I'm like, really? I know, because of the research I had to do for the menu, that statistically speaking, once women hit menopause, their interest in men just dies. I mean, you could say drops off. I would say dies. It just goes away. And there's a few select gals or a percentage that genuinely enjoy the company of men, but I'm talking on a genetic biology. It just seems like it drops off a cliff and there's no interest. But wouldn't you want to have just a little bit of fun? Is that how this is going to end? Is that how this generation is going to go? Is that how we're all going to? Here's a nice guy, wants to take you for a steak dinner. Put on a dress. Let's go dancing. Like old school date that doesn't exist anymore. You want to stay home and eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And I didn't want to lay it down on him. I didn't want to start shoving red pills up his ass. Because, it's like decompression. You can't just yank someone up from 400 feet underwater. They have to decompress slowly. Otherwise, I guess the cardiovascular system, their lungs burst. I don't know whatever it is. But I want to be like, deliver that. I got to find that statistic of that study where women just have no interest in men after like menopause. Just to spare him the last 15, 20 years of his life of the confusion. Because guys' desire, and I would maybe even say love for women, will never end. It will never end. I know, it's creepy. We're gross. We're possessed. Okay, all right. Paint it that way. If you paint love and desire as you will, that's fine. But I just kind of wanted to say, look, buddy, that's going to kill you in the end. It's going to ruin the remaining 15, 20 years you got left on this planet. And I obviously didn't want to speak about his mortality right off the bat. And I kind of wanted him to not be confused about how you do that. Like say, oh yeah, women have no interest in you after that. Oh yeah, it's over for you, man. You got to go younger and hope a gal in her late 40s, early 50s is into you. And I was like kind of figuring a way. And then he proceeds to tell me about all these girls that he might potentially meet on the internet. I'm like, what? And I'm kind of cutting out a lot of the story because I don't want to identify and don't want to bore you with the details. But he was telling me of another friend kind of having a guy we know, also an older gentleman, who thought there was a beautiful girl in Gillette, Wyoming. Now, let me explain to you, okay? There are no good-looking girls in Gillette, Wyoming. They killed them all in the great good-looking girl purge of 2002. You are by law not allowed to be a good-looking woman in Gillette. They can't have them. You're immediately either kicked out of the kingdom or murdered. And so I said, well, let me see. And so he showed me a picture. Yeah, she's on Facebook. And dude, you could tell. Some 26-year-old babe with big kazooms, probably from Ukraine. She was blonde and blue-eyed. And you just look at the background. I'm like, there's not a house like that in Gillette. And I couldn't tell if he's like, yeah, I think there's something suspicious. Like, yeah, it's suspicious. And so it was shocking to me that the old timers, at least these two data points tell me, like, one guy fully believed it. One guy believed that there is this gorgeous blonde in Gillette, and she's talking to him on the internet. Who this gentleman, also very well to do, actually pretty good looking for his age, but I think solid 60s, solidly in the 60s. And here's this 10 in Gillette of all play. Like, ladies, let me tell you some more, or Ahmed, or whoever out there is doing the catfishing. Don't be ridiculous. Don't say you're in Gillette. Kind of make it sound like you're visiting. All right? Spearfish. Or Rapid City for the season. Or Telluride. Or some place where actually good-looking people live. Don't say you're from Gillette. No one good. There's no good-looking people in Gillette. No good-looking people in Casper. No good-looking people on Rollins. Atham, look it up. Atham's been to those places, by the way. And I was shocked, one, that the one guy actually believed this girl exists, but then two, I was kind of like, wait, you're confused? Like, shouldn't you know? Didn't you get the memo from 10 years ago? This is catfishing. Aren't you old timers at least somewhat aware of this? And so apparently I got to tell you old guys, we got to get to the old guys. There's this unreached group of old guys who actually think the good-looking girls on the internet are girls, for one, and two, exist, and three are who they say they are, and four are interested in dating them. And then five, after women of a certain age, just don't have any interest in you guys. And when I look at the demographics, obviously I skew heavily male on this channel. We got some females, though, too. We're pretty much all under 50. Oh, we got some savvy old timers, and we appreciate you all, but we're squarely, I could look it up later, but we're squarely, wait a minute, I got it right here. I have my YouTube up. Analytics. Let's go to my channel. Reach, engagement, audience. Here, I'll pull it up right now. Audience. Where do I go to ages? Where do I go to demographics? Portuguese? What? Male, female. Okay, so 3.3% of female, 96.6% male. User specified 0.1%. We do have some genuine trans people, not the fake ones who are trans trenders. Legit. Yeah. Boopity boop boop boo. 80% of my audience is 44 and younger. And yeah, about 85, 90% are 50 and younger. I'm splitting that 45 to 54 age demographic. But yeah, the 55 and up, they only account for 8-9% of my audience. And I'm wondering, do we gotta do this raising awareness for old timers? Because there's gray divorce, right? All these old time guys, and they're still alive, they're still sentient. And if there's an argument for them to pay attention on me, it's because they're going to die soon. This is their last 20 years of life. And guys love women eternally. Or no, they love and cherish, because lust after, all the above. They're going to do it till they're dead. And I'd hate to have it where you guys have been strung along, because I've seen what happened to the boomer guys. I wish you would take the red pill so the rest of your life, so that all of your life isn't confusion. It all isn't pain. Because I got to imagine, what was that like? You want to take this girl to wear a dress out for steak. The most innocent, gentlemanly thing I could think of. I have offered not so gentlemanly propositions to ladies. Definitely nowhere near that high caliber or moral or valuable. Uh, and and he still gets shot down. And I know why. I'm still flummoxed that girls would turn that down. But I know why. And do we got to do a campaign? Do we got to raise awareness to get to these old timers so they don't waste what's left of their life chasing after girls that don't even freaking exist, that are obvious catfishers? That's Punjab and Bangladesh with an internet connection. And I don't know. And I mean, we've never talked about it. Do you guys know any grandfathers? Do you guys know any I guess if you're old enough, your fathers are of this age. They still believe this blue pill bullshit. That's one of the great things we can at least say in regards to the men and women. At least men and women today, because of the internet, we're not wasting each other's times. Women are giving up on men. Oh my gosh. I know Twitter isn't the real world, but please go online and just search "I'm giving up on men" or "men are scum" or "I hate men." A lot of them are robots. A lot of it is sensationalism, but women have largely, and I think you guys can concur because you've asked girls out, they've said no and they've kind of given up. Men have also given up largely on women. So, I mean, there's an awareness. And even if, like, yeah, I still would like someone, at least you understand. At least you know the dynamics. At least you know that 10 and Gillette isn't really real. So we're not going to be confused anymore. Thank God for that. But what's it like to be approaching nursing home age? I mean, maybe is that the consolation prize, the wicked, disgusting, sick consolation prize God or nature finally gives guys, where enough of them die that the few percentages of them that make it into the nursing home, where Gertrude and Phyllis and all their other 85-year-old women are, like, not, do they finally give it up then? Is the sex ratio so warped that women find, like, oh, I kind of would like a guy. They were slinging their dick in front of me until I was well into my late 60s, but they're all dead after 75. Maybe I will let Herman get a little bit of the cooch. Herman is in a wheelchair and frankly doesn't know where he is at that time. I'm sure maybe guys spring lightly at that age too. Like, hey, what? Sex? Okay. But I got to imagine they're kind of burnt out, kind of tired. I mean, like, oh, yay. I finally got her. I'm finally an alpha male. I got a harem. Gray, wrinkly, ugh. It's over. All I'm trying to think of is to save these older guys, because if these two guys are any indication of the ignorance or naivete that your average older American man has, we got a guy. I'm real curious. Like, do your old time? We're roughly in the 30s, 40s here. Your old time guy, your old man still think like, oh, I'll get married and take Peggy Sue to the sock hop. I'm gonna take her for a steak dinner. Do we have to do the gray red pill? Is there going to be a book? Someone going to write a book for dating for older men? And I'm just giving some general basic philosophy. Like, the girls aren't interested in you. They never were. Stop wasting your life pining for some that isn't. It counts. Tickety tock, tickety tock. These are the most valuable, precious minutes of your life. Spend it with your grandkids. Go fishing. Go for a motorcycle ride. Have a good scotch. But for God's sake, stop pining after Phyllis. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, and now I got to come up with a way. How do I help out this old guy? How do I introduce? I met one guy fresh off divorce. He was ripe for the picking. I'm like, you might like some books I wrote. And so I think he bought 3 of them. fresh off divorce. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I am. Yeah. One guy, is that your wife? No. Well, how long? Been several years. Why don't you marry her? Because I want to have sex. Everyone laughs, except for the women. It's true. I'll tell you this, like, now, thankfully, I never got it from my folks because they damn well knew with the disaster of the Hindenburg, known as their marriage, and a consequential and inevitable divorce, they never hounded me to get married. But there was still this societal pressure, kind of like that was kind of the right thing to do in the 80s and 90s. And that crescendoed or peaked, I think, mid 90s. And now that's gone away. Like, no one pushes you to get married. No one ever says you're living in sin. The track record of American marriage has been so disastrous. Everyone kind of knows. And so, but there was still kind of like, well, you really ought to. And then like, well, I know there's like this genetic holdover and cultural society holdover. Man, I'm coming out looking fly. Like, no, let's just have the sex and the fun. How does that sound? No, I won't be having kids. I'll just be having food and sleeping in until when I want and doing what I want. No, I don't think I will sign that contract. And I will make sure we are equally footed so that I have to be considered as well in all relationships, romantic, business, social, and familial. My removal from this contract will ensure certain standards are met. And there will be no government agent involved. And man, people are awfully quiet. And they can't, no one disagrees. No one. Well, there's no ought. It's like this shut up gas. Why are you married? Because I want to get laid. Shut up gas. And everyone shuts up. No one can say anything. Even the women, all they do is they get that stare like, because they know it's true. But you could kind of get a little bit of it. Like, let me tell you about women. How do you approach an old timer like that? Let me tell you about women. It's like let me tell you about the Vietnam War. They're not going to listen to me, even though I may know more than they do. We need like a really old man to write a book for gray hairs. Rollo's old enough, right? Rollo's 83, right? Get Rollo in on this deal. But I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Like, how did you? I mean, I know you're in your 60s. How did you get this naive? How did you not search this on the internet? Like, one of your self-defense survival instincts kind of kick in and say something's wrong, something ain't right. And I know the power of the poos is like really powerful. But even when I was younger, I knew something was wrong when a drop-dead gorgeous woman claimed to like me. That didn't start happening until the internet, when a rando could just take a picture of drop-dead gorgeous woman and claim to like you. Anyway, so I don't know how we would do it. I don't know how we'd approach older men. I got to find that study. Maybe we make articles and PSAs in magazines because old guys still read that. Warning. Did you know that girl on the internet isn't really a girl? And she doesn't live in Gillette. There are no good-looking women in Gillette.org. Subscribe to find out more. And heaven help these old timers if they actually give up their credit card to some scammer. All right, let's go to super chats. Me, Mike, $2. Preventing her paying her own dinner is oppressive. I don't know. What is that? Financial oppression? Another reason not to get married. Separate bank accounts. You cover it all. Look, I hate to say this. Non-participation or not forming partnerships, whether that's legal, business, matrimonial. You just don't form legal partnerships with the opposite sex. I would even say that about business partners. You never take on a business partner, male or female. And that way you can't know she has her own bank account. She has her own place. She has her own job. She has her own insurance. You never go halvesies on anything. And then that way there's no financial abuse. I'm very curious, like, what percentage of the time is financial abuse? The guy saying, no, we need to pay for rent. We need to pay for food. And you bought all this crap. Now oh, it's financial. Is it? Or is it somebody just trying to maintain a budget? Wait, preventing her paying her own dinner. Oh, okay. All right. So that's the other side, which I'm all confused, right? If you pay for her dinner now, you're oppressive. Okay, whatever. Whichever, ladies, get a rule book. Have the Council of Nicaea. Have a council of women where you may not agree, but at least you come up with an official stance as to what is correct and what is not. Okay, paying for a dinner is good. Offering to pay, just tell us what the rules are. Be a lot less confusing. Channel 1800 $5 New Zealand dollars. Cappy, what's up? What's up, 1800? How's the sister? The Blue Wrench. I was at his future homestead when he moves out to Caputa. Hot here. Yeah, I look, there's a bunch of tornadoes coming through the Twin Cities and Minnesota in general. Maybe it makes it into Wisconsin. Anthem for $2 super sticker. I don't know. It's probably Mexican poops. That's it. We got any more? Anthem again. Too many incels in chat. See what you attract. I don't know. You got the ban ham. I'm very reluctant to ban. I mean, maybe mute if people get too repetitive. I have very limited, like, if you start slandering colleagues and friends, you're out. If you start slandering me, not like calling me names, like, I can't believe so, but it's the same 3 or 4 guys with, maybe it's one guy with a bunch of things like, people pay this guy. I mean, okay, it's getting old, but that's fine. Waste your time. I'll ban them. But I'm usually pretty libertarian when it comes to letting people have their like, you could certainly disagree with me. Florida Henry, $5. My parents were baby boomers. For the few honorable baby boomer men, life must have been extremely confusing, and now they are dying off. Yeah, what's that like? Like, okay, we'll do this feminism thing. What do you mean divorce Olympics? What do you mean I can't see my kids? Oh, it must have just been bad luck. Get married again. What do you mean divorce? What perturbed me, I've said it before, I got so tired of even bothering to learn my new step siblings' names. And I'm like, who are these people? And then like 3 Christmases later, they're gone. Like, okay, it's your stepbrother's birthday. You think you're gonna make it that long, huh? You're gonna make it to my stepbrother's birthday? You think we're gonna make it that long, huh? Okay, we'll see. Oh, come out here for this Christmas. Come out here for this Thanksgiving. No! I'm here. You come out. Warmer here anyway. Yeah, but I feel real bad. Like, because they got that World War II, 1950s responsibility BS. Well, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. Now, our generation said, hold on. Wait a second. Some ain't right. We said, no. Oh, no. Some of us did. Some. A lot of you still didn't. And like, but I love her. Are we getting it out there? Are you guys, is it getting through your thick skulls? College is pretty much a guaranteed waste of money, unless you're in STEM and accounting, all right? And marriage is a stupid, really stupid idea. Really stupid. It is incredibly stupid. I'm not saying it for the show. I'm not saying it for the algorithm. It's a fact. Getting married in the United States is stupid. I guess these poor guys, I maybe they still ideal. They just want to Maybe fall in love one last time. Maybe go to that steakhouse one last time. Oh, and these gentlemen, the cowboys out here, proper gentlemen, they put on their cowboy hats and they put on that kind of tie, that Texas bow tie. They put on their cowboy jacket. It is. This is probably the last real group of real men you're going to find. Can't even get a girl to take to the fine. You remember in Andy Griffith, where they would take the girls to the diner if it was something special. They go down to the diner by the highway, but then Barney Fife had to worry about whether Juanita was near and she was working or not. You know, that's where they take the girls. That was like what they did. What did you old ladies? Did you not like the dating? Did you say, oh, screw that? I used to like dining and fun and dancing and going to a movie and having escorted with our arms interlocked. I used to like that. But now I'm a modern woman. I'm going to dye my hair blue. I'm not going to wear a dress. That's oppressive. Trying to be like a man 24/7. That's equal. Oh, all these cowboys. Yeah, and they're dying off. And they're like, that's it? What? Seth smashes 10 generous dollars. I got my first video advice like 7 years ago, and I'm starting an internship with Morgan Stanley Capital International. For $44 an hour. Not bad, dude. With a job offer at the end, a bachelor's of science in electrical engineering, master's of science in 2 years, a PhD in computer science. We won. There you go. Boys, you could stop the school. Stop the school. You're done. You're done with school, all right? You don't need any more school. Now's the go make money and have fun time. Congratulations. Congratulations, Seth. That's good to hear. I hope you're not in New York. Frank522, $2. Thank you. Has nothing to say. Taboo smash, $5. The black pill is way more effective than the red pill. Most of dating coaches are grifter. I talked to some Gen Z and they become less delusional about saying, yeah. And I have to tip my hat to this guy. Thinking Ape, he was the one that pointed out that I did not come up with this idea, but he came up with the very bright silver lining that there is not going to be any red pill rage. I think Gen Z and younger, the boys go online, they look, they find out, oh, that's why. The answers are out there. They're not like me and my Gen Z counterparts who wandered in the desert longer than Moses and the Israelites did, literally 40 years. Like, well, I don't get it. What's going on? When we had to rely on word of mouth and women's advice. You know, it's all clear now. It makes complete sense now. But yeah, I don't know if I want to go black pill on the guy. He's a nice guy too. He's a good guy. And I want to just like bust him up, you know. I'll slowly introduce it to him. You're like, you know, you ever get the impression women never like men all that much? Just a thought I've been running through my head, but they like this as much. Half the time they'd say yes, right? Half the time they'd ask us out. Matter of fact, if I think about it, you ever think it's you or maybe all the tooth pulling and pain-assery? Maybe it's just nature. It's supposed to be that way? It was never your fault? Maybe. Channel 1800 Dumb, $5 New Zealand dollars. Good collab with TFM, Cappy, and shout out to Pop. I'm still not gay, though. Not yet, laughing out loud. Yeah, if you guys were interested, me and TFM, as always, had a very interesting conversation. I had to put it on BitChute because of obvious reasons. Don't talk about X. We talk about X. All right. There that one went. Vlad Elkins is in the house. And we'll be podcasting tomorrow. If you could, hang on. Let's take a look at the Vlad Elkins subscription check with Aaron Clarey. Subscription check. Let's take a look. Elkins accounting hour. How many does he have? 927. Chad. 927, man. Look at us go. Oh, someone's going to get cancer for realsies this time if things are going this well. It can't go this good for this long. It just can't. I'm ready for it. By the way, you guys were is Cappy ready for the shoe to drop, the other shoe to drop? You certainly right, I am. I don't have to buy anything else, like aside from, basics. I'm going to get solar panels on my electrical thing. I got to cut some trees out of the way, though, for that. Getting a clever way of using the tree stumps to raise the panels so they get sun. Very clever, actually. But I'm ready for me too. Something else. I don't know. Something. The actual cancer. But I'm waiting. And I'm prepared. Me, Mike, $2. Senior McFly is better than Cappy, all edgy and stuff. Who's Senior McFly? Like Marty McFly from Back to the Future? DJ Aftershock, $5. I got an ad earlier for one of those investment bro schemes where they said you can make money by lending your own money to others, aka peer-to-peer scam. Dude, you know what? I've been getting a lot of ads on my shows, or like when I watch other sites. These weird-looking older men, not middle-aged, a little bit older, but not old, if you know what I'm saying, with a full set of gray hair, claiming they can help you get their wives back. And it's always some kind of Christian angle. Dude, what? No. Whoa. Look, I'll help you get out of poverty and charge you money for it. I'll yell at you and kick in your nuts to make sure you don't major in stupid stuff. But if you lost your wife because she divorced you and you're still all pining for her or anything, I kind of got to draw the line there. I really got to draw the line there. In 4 short weeks, I'll teach you how to get your wife back. She's not coming back. Your only option is to excel and make yourself the man she wished she held on to. That's your only option. You must excel and succeed and get a girl hotter and younger and better, if at all, preferably a harem. Great line in Midnight Run. I keep holding on. What's with you in that watch? Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't tell time. You confessed your love of chickens for me. What's with that watch? Well, I keep holding on to it. Maybe she'll come back. I don't think she's coming back, Jack. They're not coming back, guys. They're not coming back. Tickety-tock, tickety-tock. There are mountains to hike, rides to ride, poker games to lose, ice cream to eat. Let's go. Excellence to achieve. Yeah. So, she's not coming back. You better get that through your head. One of the several, I wouldn't say many, but one of the several reasons I end up becoming like I am is because I ended up losing one gal. I'm like, I gotta make it count. Gotta make it count. And I did. Juan the Aztec Patriarch, Clarey is racist. Changed my mind. Yeah. We're all got pros and cons. Asians are really good at math. Blacks are phenomenal at athletics, but also music. Not rap. I know they're good at, I know. I'm talking more like jazz. And I was listening to some, oh, come on. Godfather of Soul. Why can't I remember him? James Brown. I was playing golf on the Oculus Quest, and you could select, and they had funk and soul. I was like, hell yeah. And nobody likes Juan the Aztec Patriarch. Hat and Clogs, $2. Howdy, Cappy. Enjoy your day and vacation. Thank you. We're moments away. I'm gonna have to get going here pretty soon. Take off. Frank 522, $5. I'm 63 and don't care. If a woman talks to me, I say if like to. If a woman talks to me, I say if like to. If she talks to me later, I'm in. If like to? Frank, maybe you should write the gray hair red pill or something. I'm not old enough. I don't have the vantage point. I don't understand what men are going through at that age. Sam Whiskey, most American name in America. $10. Cappy, the menu was very informative, and rest in peace, Fred. Old men need to read this book. Yeah, I'd say they do. They do need to read it because they got to make it count. I mean, it's bucket list time. And I don't know about you old timers, but have you done a cost benefit analysis as to the decades of time you've invested in pursuing girls? Where has it gotten you? Do you have it? If anything, I'd be spending time with your children and grandchildren. Like if I was grandpa age and I had grandchildren, I would be spending all my time with I'll babysit, whatever, bring them over. Let's go, kids. We're going on adventure, take them fishing, give them lots of hugs, squeeze their guts out. My niece says, you got to squeeze my guts out. I'm not going to squeeze your guts out next year. You're squeezing my guts out. And what's really cool now is you get up there, you look at them, and they look at you, and I'm like, I think you need your guts squeezed out. No! They run away. Man, if you spend time with your kids and your grandkids, go get that motorcycle. Learn to ride it first before you go to Sturgis, please. Don't show up here with a brand new shiny bike. You'll crash and I'll get your repaired bike for like 10 cents on the dollar. All right. Please read the menu. Scrolling. Me Mike, $10. Thank you for all the kind donations, Me Mike. Saw the interview you did with Lisa. Alit Stewie, I think is her name. Nice lady. It was good. Was pretty impressed. She did go all feelings offended. No, she did not go all feelings. I think you meant did not go. Stayed open and heard you out. Seemed like a very productive chat. Kudos for branching out to you both. Yeah, Lisa Alastewy, Steuyy. And yeah, nice gal, and she's a good interviewer. Probably could use a couple more followers after subscribing to Vlad Elkins. Maybe check her out. She interviewed another gal who was an expert on incels. It was an interesting conversation. I wouldn't call her necessarily a red pill gal, but she is definitely not a communist, and definitely I wouldn't call her a feminist. I don't know her background, like why she all of a sudden decided to do that. It's like, what did you? It's so shocking to see a girl that isn't maybe necessarily on our team, but isn't like slinging rocks at us. Like, whoa, wait, hang on, what? Sam Whiskey, $10. Cappy, could the ruling class implement a bachelor tax? Yeah, they do. It's called an income tax and an estate tax. I don't think they could because that would violate some law about discrimination. They may go for a single person tax, and you kind of already have that. It does exist in that you don't get write-offs for your children that you don't have. So come from the spending side or the tax credit side. But yeah, I mean, men make more and we pay more, and we don't have the deductions that married people have. So it's already effectively there, as it is for successful bachelorettes. But you girls always love the Democrats, so you vote for your own enslavement. I don't know why you do that. Taco Nomad, $5 Canadian, just turned 55, a big fan. Single, 6 foot tall, 4 to 6 pack. Look at this guy. Look, this is the guy you want to become. This is the guy I want to become in like 5-10 years. 600cc engine, 6 figs in 6 months, another year and a half year spent in Southeast Asia. Girlfriend is 25. There you go. Life is good seeing Asia. I'm coming out there. Might run into you depending on the town you're in. Good to hear. See, he knows it. He gets it. Hampton Clogs, 43.34, $2. They like the alphas, Cappy. I know they like the alphas. You got to become the alpha. You have to. It really is become alpha or go home. Because, look, do you want to negotiate? Do you want to pull teeth? Do you want to get reluctant sex? No. It's a pain in the ass. Go be alpha, if you can be. Maybe you're not tall enough. Maybe your biology doesn't allow for it, right? But go be alpha. If not, go be you. Go do you. Do alpha-like things that you find fun. The Black Blur, $5. Cappy, how large is your harem? 2 foot? No, it's 1. It's 1. I'd be lying otherwise. The guys at Rule Zero, like at Modern Life, John's like, I think we could all agree we want like one main girl, but a little girl on the sides. Like that's every guy that's honest. But no, man, I played the field. It was fun for a while, but not as funny as you'd think. And maybe if I was in Islam or whatever, the Mennonites or something, maybe. But two Western girls, no. I'm old. Maybe I should talk about the past a little bit, but guys, I got burnt out. I got really burnt out. It's not a drop of fuel left in that tank. And it is pain avoidance, headache and pain avoidance that governs my behavior. So no, 72, 5, no. Not 72. I always make the joke. Yeah, David had 1,000. King David, he had 2,000 wives and 3,000 concubines. And he was freaking miserable. Freaking miserable. Jaheel Watson, $20. Cappy, I've been. Thank you, by the way, for $20 generous dollars. Cappy, I've been struggling lately, and what are your opinion? What is your definition of success? I understand it's relative, but what the F? I've defined it before. I'm actually, maybe you haven't listened to me long enough. I've defined. Success is replacing your current problems with slightly lesser ones. That's it. It's just a general progress. You never eliminate your problems. They just become lesser. And it's never a finish line. It's never, yay. It's never, now I can relax. The objective standards that is success are few, but important. But they're few, and then after that, you're still going to have problems. The number one thing would be FU money. So you no longer have to labor. All right, so now I don't have to worry about working. You still have the problem, a slightly lesser problem that has replaced it. Okay, now what do? Bill Gates got that problem. I'm going to tell the world what to do and piss away my fortune on charities that won't solve the problem. Apparently, that's what he's going to do with this time. What's success? I would say, it's an arbitrary number, but depending on, I would think if you're really into sex, sleeping with at least 10 women over the course of your life. I think that's a good measure of success, but that depends on other people. For that, it's not enough. For some people, that's way too much, especially if you're religious. I would say another definitive objective would be being comfortable with the afterlife, either through faith in a religion and believing in a God or a genuine religion, or with coming to terms that you are immortal and not letting the fear of it ruin you. Having and establishing a legacy so that if you die at any moment, you're okay with it. Like, well, I lived to 45, but boy, look at what I did. And I'd say staying in physical shape, and not even to get the girls. It really, as time goes on and Americans get just more fat and disgusting, I'd say it's more for your own pride is too strong of a word, but self-respect. Like, no, I'm going to look like a presentable human being when I go in. I'm not going to have people be disgusted by me. I'm not going to be a negative externality, like a hideous piece of architecture and ugly sculpture. I'm going to go, I may not look like Sterling Cooper, but I'm going to be presentable to public. And if you can wing it, fall in love. In your case, find a gal, another gal's paid, find a guy, fall in love. Genuine love. Somebody loves you. You love them. You love them more than you love yourself, and you enjoy spending your time with them. But that's half out of your control, about half. And then when you achieve these things, then the problem of what do we do tonight, brain? Same thing we do every night, Piggy. Try to figure out what you have to do. That's your final problem. That's after you've conquered the video game, played the campaign, did all the side missions, and now you just run around Blackwater in Red Dead Redemption. I guess we'll play poker more. Guess we'll do it. Guess we'll start a company, something. That's it. But there's no definitive success except for those things I mentioned. DC, $5. Cappy, what's a good starter motorcycle? Thinking Honda Rebel 500. All right. A used piece of crap. I'd say 600 or less cc's. Depends on your weight. Depends on the torque of the engine as well. But just a small piece of crap. Preferably more than 250 cc's, especially if you live in a mountainous area or windy area. I think there's a 300 cc engine with Honda. Just get your experience. That's a great start. And you're going to get rid of it in about a year or two. Depending on how much you ride. But a Honda Rebel 500 is fine. Make sure it's used. Make sure it's scratched and dinged up because you're going to spill it. Unlike me. Channel 1800 dumb $2 cap. You're looking very young. Full AMO. A. This is in spite of me eating like a pig the past week because I had guests over. We were like, nope, we're eating whatever. We went to a restaurant in Hill City. Atham, look it up. Where all we did was order desserts. We ordered 7 desserts. And these were no joke desserts. And I was surprisingly not sick after it. But I mean, we also hiked a bunch of mountains and did a lot of exercise. Fred, when I die and go to hell, I will find you. Then I'm going to give you shit for all eternity. How's that bullet tasting today, Fred? Miss you, Folker. We all miss Fred. I did miss him. It wasn't just because he had super chats, but he'd always come in. And we never got to meet him in person. All right. Let's round it down for the super chat so I could kind of get ready. I'll do one more video announcing final stuff. Taekwondo, €2. Heard all the shout outs you got on Fresh and Fit. Hell, yeah, it was just Modern Life John busting my balls. That's all it was. It was jokes about how I'm poor. That's it. Yeah, unless you're poor like Aaron. Unless you're like little boys like Aaron. Yep. That's all it was. I did enjoy it. It was good to hear the guys. I could have been there, but I couldn't have. Not if I want to maintain my mental health. I am really looking forward to vacation time. Glenn Lawrence, check out his channel. Actor and bodybuilder extraordinaire, $10. I said the other day on a podcast that guys need to look at hypergamy like push-ups. Now that I bench press over 315 pounds, I don't complain about the push-ups. Just like push-ups, hypergamy is a tool. Yep. And you can't fault them. All you can do is change your expectations out of women. That's it. They're always going to be looking for better. And also to make the argument, try to be the best version of yourself you can become. So she ain't looking elsewhere. No dog in the race, $5. 2 Red Bulls for you. Nah, the Red Bulls kind of do a number on my kidneys. I can have 1. I can't have 2. Oh my God. This is weird. Chad, are you all right? Give me back some of my hard-earned super chat. What's going on? $5. Clarey, I accidentally charged all my recent Amazon purchases to my ex-girlfriend's credit card since it was still on file there. What should I do? Just claim that she jacked up your taxes that much and you paid for everything else, so that's just merely compensation. Yeah, I'm quite literally meaning this. You have a better legal, empirical, and economic argument for reparations from that ex of yours, from Cuddlewookums, than she does patriarchy or anything else. Alex Petier, look who's back. $5. Nothing to say. Taj, my money, Mexican-American poops. Well, welcome back, Alex. That's it. There we go. Let me go through fan mail very quickly. Where do we go? This is from Don. I haven't talked to Terrence, but I will. Oh, wait, this is the wrong thing. Here we go. God darn it. Don shares his sympathies with the loss of Fred. And he talks about, God darn it, maybe I'll talk about this somewhere. Maybe I can rewrite this. I did one, but Don sent a good email, so I'll hold on to that. This is from Katerina. Dear Mr. Clarey, I'm Katerina, one of your viewers from YouTube. I writing to say thank you for your videos and books about getting a degree in STEM. I just got news today that I am enrolled in an online school for programming. Thus, I want to express my gratitude for your book about useless degrees. I read it when I was in university and was studying for my BA. Unfortunately, I didn't have the financial opportunity to pursue a second, more useful degree after graduating from university for several years. This year, I finally do. Wish you blessings and abundance. Best regards, Katerina. And I'm obviously, I'm going to guess English is his or her second language. But good to hear. Good to hear. That goes into the memento box. Let's move that to the memento box. These are all paid. Is that it? All right. What is this one? What? What is this? Oh, this is just spam. That's why. Okay. Make it through the spam. All right. That's it. That's it for fan mail. Good on that. I can log out that. Close out this. All right. Final super chats until July. Osama Abdu, $5. AC. Half the time I check into the black and mainstream manosphere is strictly for the laughs, laughing out loud. Mainstream for the laughs, laughing out loud. Best comedy on the planet 20. Like O'Shea Jackson and Black and Obsidian Radio. And yeah, it's good. It's good. I haven't been on a road trip. I would always tune into O'Shea Jackson driving through Utah. Cause like, oh, time to listen to O'Shea. And I haven't listened to him in a while. I should check into him. See how it's going. Channel 1800 dumb. New Zealand $2 Fred. It sucks. Pull through it, gents. It passes. It to the previous guy who donated 20, like, what is success? To find out a reason to get up out of bed every morning. That's success. I can't emphasize this enough, guys. I didn't write the menu Life Without the Opposite Sex because I want to make a money grab or anything like that. Women really aren't into you that much today. All right. Maybe deep down inside they're into you. We don't have time. Half of you will not be married. Half the women are not going to get married. That means half the guys aren't going to be married. And if you look at polling data, women are just not that interested in you guys. And even though it gave you point and purpose and reason and living for all of humanity, not now, not for half of you. And I hate to say it, if you want to pick up another book, the Book of Numbers, like 7/8 of you weren't going to be a little bit less than 7/8 of you weren't going to be happily married anyway. You'd either end up divorced or miserable. It's not on the menu. So, but you're here. And so you are compelled by your existence to find a reason and purpose to live, and hopefully some happiness, joy, contentment, and entertainment, and some laughs. That's in the menu. You cannot succumb to the depression. You cannot succumb to the sadness. You cannot succumb to the lack of existence and purpose. You have to go out there, grab life by the nuts, choke it in its neck, and choke purpose and meaning out of life. Get it out of life. Grab it. Beat it. And make it yield and give. What's the word? Make it acquiesce. Make it forfeit. Make it give you a reason. There's no way I'm going to like, okay, you can, I lose. Pow. Not life. There are too many assholes, too many stupid people. I got to stick around and see how miserable they are. I got to see them fail. I got to exist and prove them wrong. Like, yeah, having a good old time, doing my fun thing. Look at all the fun I'm having. I know you make $1.7 million a year, working 80 hours a week. Have fun with that. And thanks for paying for the roads, by the way, with half of your money in taxes. Meantime, I'm going fishing. Gone fishing, Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Doo. I ain't working anymore. Gone fishing. Did I miss hang on. David Jones, $5. At what age are women ready for separate house, money, long-term relationship with no kid? 40, 45. Isn't no kids, never married a red flag? I don't know about that. Like everyone else, you have to give women the individual. You have to an individual case. It depends. I hear I got to be a little bit sympathetic with women because, look, let's be honest. Their selection of men ain't exactly grandiose or glamorous either. And I think give it another 10 years, there's going to, like, imagine millennial girls. Someone played the cards right. They worked hard. They did the thing. There's going to be a lot of them that probably tried their best, but you thought there was a marriageable guy for them. You thought there was like some Ward Cleaver with a job and good financial acumen and a legit degree. There's a shortage of good guys. And so I could see in 10 years where there would be a single woman who tried, couldn't find a good guy, played her cards right, whatever, was an accountant, or maybe just a regular old bartender, whatever, just regular gal that worked for a living. And that's not necessarily going to be a red flag. So you owe the individual a fair shake. You have to figure out why they have a problem or why they're in their condition. It isn't always something that's stereotypical or scripted. So at what age they now for separate house, married, long-term with no kids, you could go into that now, say, I'm not getting married, I'm not having kids, but maybe see that's not universal for every guy either. What if you want to have kids? All right. If you're going to have kids, you may have to have a house. You see what I'm saying? But let's say you're never married, no kids. Okay. You're like me. You negotiate that up front. Like, I'm never getting married, I'm never having kids. And we will have separate finance. Just so you know, the best is we have separate houses, like within a 10-mile radius of each other, not closer. And we have separate finances. And you introduce that as soon as possible so you don't waste their time, let alone yours. But at what age? They are not the determining factor. You are. Now, at what age are they receptive to that? At what age? When they're early, oh no, they all want to move in and all commit because that's what the television told me. So my genetics are screaming at me, and then they can't wait to get away from you and live in separate places anyway. But when they are mature, experienced enough to appreciate that arrangement, probably about 40. Because then they've dated and they lived with someone that realized kind of a pain in the ass. Maybe they got a marriage under their belt and they're like, that was stupid. And maybe instead of like, tee-hee, I want more, they're like, I'm never doing, because it's not fun for them either. They might win prizes, but going through, they don't want to go talk to their lawyer. It's not what they want to do in their day. So yeah, it's not going to be until they're 35, 40. I mean, you might find a young gal that's really ahead of her time. Like, yeah, I'm with it. I want my own place. I don't want your nasty old socks here. Cool. Libertarian Dictator, $5. Saw a new billboard last weekend for a plus-size women's clothing that says sexy has no size. Good for them. Operation Evil. How many fat, ugly women are going to buy from that purveyor of clothing based on the lie that they just told them, thinking they're going to be sexy? Good. I hope that company makes billions of dollars and in doing so fails to deliver sex and beauty to those women. But they did get their money. Channel 1800 Dublin, 5 New Zealand dollars. God writes our last page, Cappy. Not right to steal his last day, my brother. What? What do you mean he writes our last? Why would I try to the last day? What are you talking about? Like, I'm on my deathbed. I still have cognizance and sentience and a control of what I get to think before I die. I mean, God inevitably has the saying. Here you are now. Afterwards, he gets to say, hey, guess what we're doing? You go to hell. All right, that's it. Okay. What are you going to say? Elkins tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Subscribe to, let's do it. Subscriber check. With Aaron Clarey. What's his name? The gray-haired robot on CNN. Anderson Cooper. Oh, what a douche. Oh. All right. Elkins Accounting Hour. How many subscribers we got, Chad? How many? 931. 931. Man, look at that. Then what else? I will have a podcast occasionally. Asshole Consulting will go up to $500 per request. It must be a drastic emergency, and I may not even check it. Finance classes on Teachable will be open in case you miss Cappy that much. Me, Mike, $10. Let's be brutally honest, Cappy. The 98% of the problem for those 50% non-men people is because they refuse to calibrate their expectations. If I refuse to settle for my equal, it's not settling, it's delusion. Me, Mike, go through, there was a video I did, what if women just don't like men that much? When you realize women don't, it's not a choice here. The 80-20, women find 80% of men unattractive. That's not a choice. Let's operate from, they're not being delusional. It's not a choice. They are not finding you physically attractive because of survival and genetic reasons in the past. Just run with that. If they don't find 80% of you attractive, does that not explain their entire behavior? And don't be angry at them. They have the right to find what they do and do not find attractive. And it's not delusional. What if it's genetics? What if it's nature? They can't find you attractive, which I could understand because men are getting fat and soy and soft, all right? But what if it's not a choice? What if they just don't like guys that much? And when you look at it that way, like, they really don't. They really don't. If they did, they would ask you out as much. If they did, they'd stay in shape. If they did, they want to have sex as much. They just don't like men as much as men like women. Period. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not their choice. It's nature. And once you figure that out, things get a lot more understanding, acceptable. And then you're like, oh, and you're not frustrated as much. You're just like, oh, they don't like me as much. And I think if men can get to that point, I think women would be a lot happier because men will stop bothering them. Or a high percentage of us would. Atham Eldecchio, $2. Atham equals greater than Cappy at shuffleboard. Oh, wait till I get my own shuffleboard. Wait till I get it. Maybe I should do that, the shuffleboard fund. I got to find one. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. Oh, wait, no, not for another month. Get my books. Check out things. I'll see you guys. Take a class on Teachable through the Clarey School of Economic Philosophy. We'll see you guys later, Tools.